we love our new guy because he's pretty great. And now I've got a drummer from Brooklyn, a Hungarian guitarist, and a Parisian bass player. So I'm the only one that doesn't have an accent.
See, that's when you have to make one of those parody bands where you do like folk songs or something, and you call yourselves the Accents, because it's the most ironic possible thing that you could do. Hey, we're the Accents.
Bonsoir, monsieur et madame.
This is Enter Sandman.
Nous sommes l'Accents.
Oh my goodness.
That's pretty much the extent of my French. That's by the way. That was it. That was done.
Obviously, as you can tell from my horrible accented version, I don't speak a lick of French at all.
What's that?
I have a band that I was trying to pronounce from French. Oh no, he's from London, and I know I butchered it. I was like, I'm so sorry, y'all people. I can't say the words. So the song's called the Rain. There you go.
It's I never ever have gotten the rule of when you leave the ending off, or when you pronounce the ending. It seems sort of like a haphazard thing. Mm-hmm. Like, do I pronounce the T? I don't pronounce the T. When do I pronounce the T?
And depending on where you go in French, sometimes they're notorious for not wanting to help you figure it out either. That's
absolutely true, yeah.
Depending on where you are in France, they're kind of like, oh, you don't speak the language very well? That's tough. We don't like you.
I got to work for a couple weeks, so about like 5 weeks, many years ago in France, and I got really good at menus. And I think if you can get a menu down and you can say thank you, I think it's probably enough to get you by.
That probably helps as far as cultural too, because they're very proud of their cuisine, and if you take the time to understand the words and phrases inherent in a French menu, you're probably at least somewhat appreciative of the culture, which is really what they look for, I think.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Because a lot of times, I mean, in European countries, the thing is that, like, oh, you're from America. Oh, you must be some uncultured kind of slob-like person who doesn't respect other people's cultures, so why should I respect you? And they don't like to help you out too much. That's not all Europeans. I mean, there's a lot of really excellent, nice Europeans, but it's like an old world attitude because Americans are the people that made a big huff and left and think that they're so great all the time, and, you know.
Right.
So in France, you can kind of get that kind of thing, and if you're interested in paying attention to their culture, well, they have a slightly different opinion of you. Instead of you just being, you're an American, it's you're somebody who's at least tried to understand us and tried to fit in.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And, you know, it's funny when I was in Paris, and and sort of realized that French people think that all Americans are from Texas.
What?
And yeah, no, kind of. And I was there, and you know, I would be in a restaurant, and there are other Americans there, and they are from Texas, and it's because they're the loudest. So that's the thing. It's like no, we're not all from Texas. It's just that they're just the loudest. They just talk loud. That's just what they do. That's their culture. So Yeah, no, it's like you're either from New York or from Texas, and then there's like nothing in between. So it was nice to go over and just be a nice person and sort of be accepted as much as you can.
Mm-hmm. I'd love to visit most of the European countries sometime in the future and be able to, not cause a cultural incident. Because I really want to go over and I really want to enjoy it, because Europe it's as one of my favorite comedians have said, Europe is where the history is, and there's so much going on over there, and there's people who the people who lived there have been around this history for it's in their blood basically, and
absolutely.
The only way to really experience everything is to get along with the people, and if they don't want to get along with you because of a misconception or something that you might have made a mistake at, then you're gonna have a bit of a bad time. And I'd like to enjoy my trip. I would like to not be the most hated man in Europe.
Yeah, no, I think I mean I just think if you are, I think you got the right attitude. If you're respectful, and I guess the stereotype is that Americans come in and they bulldoze. They want, okay, give me what I want. I asked for this, and so you better make it happen. As opposed to asking, oh, what do you have? Okay, great. I'll be happy with that. Mm-hmm. There are things that you couldn't possibly understand because of the history, and I'll give you a great example. I was in Siena in Italy, which is it's an absolutely beautiful tiny city in Tuscany, and realistically, it's 16 different cities all next to each other. It's separated by a street only. All these different districts, and they all have a different mascot, and they have their own lineage, and it goes back for 400, 500 years. And they have this race every year. Sometimes it's twice a year. It depends. And I remember just seeing it years ago in Maxim. It was one of the 16 things to see before you die events. And it's this horse race in the town square, which is not that big. They put dirt out over the cobblestones, and people walk on it for days, for like a week. They just, by walking on it, they pack it down, and then they have this horse race, and it's 10 of the sort of sub-cities all competing against each other. And the person that was showing us around was from one area of the city. And we asked, so who are your rivals? Kind of thinking like, Jets and the Eagles, or what, that kind of rivalry. Because all of our rivalries are sort of geographic and false. Mm-hmm. The Red Sox hate the Yankees, and the Yankees don't care. So who are your rivals? And they said, oh, it's this group over here. And we're like, oh, okay, but you really don't hate them. And then Phil said, oh no, we hate them. With just her face just got so stern, it was scary. No, we hate them. I said, why do you hate them so much? I said, well, in 1582, they used our well without permission. And my response was, good enough for me?
Hey, you might as well if you're in someone else's form of quiet insanity, then you just join in.
So I guess maybe the lesson is, just be open to it, and and see where it goes. Because they're not fighting in the streets, they're not killing each other. It's just that there's just a legitimate hatred there for only that reason, apparently.
And that's the show. Good night.
You know what? I wasn't even on the air either. Rebelmann, Indian Hitland. It's the last song. Good night.
Who do you think you are, telling me what to do? This is my home, my land. I was here before you. I'm riding the range, the songs in my eyes. Spirits are here, the mountains are high. Navajo, Apache, Blackfeet, Indian in my You come to my home in a boat from a faraway land. Steal my horse, kill the women and children of the Cheyenne. Ha! You push me around, you throw me away. Smoke in the ashes, I'll rise in the pain. Navajo, Apache, Blackfeet, Indian, I'll get